What's going on, everybody? My name is Terrence Williams, and I am your host to Step Into My World. And on today's show, we're going to be stepping into the world of hip-hop, the hip-hop of the past, present, and future. We're also going to be stepping into the world of this new rapper that's out called Riff Raff, man. And let me tell you this, if you don't know who Riff Raff is now, by the end of today's show, you will. But before I get into that, I want to start talking about hip-hop. And you know, hip-hop has always been just such a positive influence in my life and the lives of others. You know, growing up, going to school, riding the bus, man, always listen to that Jay-Z, that Kanye, that Nas, man, Fabulous, all of them. All people that had context and meaning behind their lyrics. But we can't acknowledge the rappers of the present without acknowledging the ones that made it happen in the past. I'm talking about groups like Run DMC. That's right. You know, with just one song, by just taking a pair of laces out of a pair of Adidas, they just changed the fashion and the hip-hop industry forever. You know, not only that, but they brought that rock flavor into hip-hop. And you see, hip-hop is so diverse because you can just bring so many different flavors and just stir them into that pot. We can also look at groups like Tribe Called Quest, who brought that jazz and that soul feeling to hip-hop. But let's not forget the voice of hip-hop. And yes, all hip-hop can have a voice, positive and negative. But let's think about Public Enemy and the voice that they gave to the black community during political times and during those civil rights times, and the black community during those civil rights times when things were just so hard. But songs like Fight the Power gave people inspiration and a voice that could be heard throughout the nation and even the world. And you see, that's the beauty of real, true hip-hop, is that voice. But, you know, in this present time, even though I mentioned a lot of good rappers that we also have some rappers that their voice isn't reaching out. I mentioned his name before, Riff Raff. You see, Riff Raff, the problem I have with Riff Raff is I feel like he's making a mockery of hip-hop. A mockery of this music, this influential music that I came to love and adore. I feel like he's making a mockery of it. But still, why are you talking about Riff Raff, man? A lot of people do that. That may be true. But his buzz has been getting too large, especially in the YouTube game. He's dropped a song with Chief Keef. He's getting love from other artists like Trinidad James. Getting love on Hot 97. Speaking of Hot 97, he was on there. He had an interview with Ebro. You know, and Ebro interviewed him, and he wasn't feeling his vibe. And I'm not either. I did a little research, and come to find out, Riff Raff is a fraud. The same guy that people over YouTube is giving praise for is a fraud. And I'm about to expose him right now. You see, when he was on Hot 97, Ebro was talking about him and talking to him, and I was like, yo, Riff Raff, is this real? And for those who don't know Riff Raff, you know, he's a white guy with braids, cornrows, with the beads at the end, got the fronts in his mouth, the chains that hang down low, tattoos of BET and MTV on his neck. So Ebro asked him, he was like, yo, is this real? Is this a costume? You know what Riff Raff said? Riff Raff was like, my tattoos and my watch and my jewelry's real. But wait, Riff Raff, that doesn't mean you're real. I'm sorry, man. You can fool others, but you're not going to fool me. You're not going to fool others like Ebro. People that know where hip-hop has came from. Who know the voice that it has and can carry and the impact and the power that hip-hop can have. So, a lot of people asked me, they was like, yo, Silk, maybe that's just who Riff Raff really is, man. How do you know? Who are you to say that's not him? Okay. Maybe that was true. So what I did was some research. Come to find out that Riff Raff is a liar, man. He won another interview saying that he was 29. Went on a different interview saying he was 26. Okay. Maybe it's something small. Maybe just being goofy. Then did a little more research and found out he went to Langham High School in Houston. Then he dropped an interview saying that he went to high school with Kanye West. And by the way, Kanye says keep your name out of his mouth, B. Dropped a song with Kanye West. Never dropped it. Lie about that. Saying that he was in high school dropping lyrics and rhymes with him. Kanye had no recollection of that. But how did you go to high school with him? How did you drop these songs with him if you live in Houston and Kanye went to school in Chicago? Something don't sound right. Okay, so maybe I was thinking maybe he transferred. Nah. Riff Raff, you say you dropped out of high school in the 11th grade. So how is that possible? These things start to add up. Things just start not to making sense. So when I look at his tattoos and all those other things, it looks like he's trying to fit the stereotype of a black man. Well, that's because predominantly in black neighborhoods, that's how they dressed. But it had me thinking about what Jay-Z said a while back, about the context of hip-hop. And without context in hip-hop, hip-hop is a lie. I'll give you the same example he gave. NWA, the pioneers of the gangsta hip-hop movement. Now you see, NWA came out with a song called F the Police. And from the outside looking in, I say, yo, this dude said F the police. These dudes must be gangsters. These dudes must be thugs. Bad news, cuz. But you follow that up with the Rodney King beatings. Well, now that has context. Now you can understand where that song came from, why they made that song. Because in their neighborhoods, a whole lot of police brutality was going on. That's the voice of hip-hop. That's real. That's context. That's real. But when asked about why you have these tattoos, and these jewelries, and these cars, and clothes, and chains, you say, they're just real. I'm just out here having fun. That's not context. I can't take you seriously. Because you're wearing something, but you don't know where this style, this culture came from. You see, in those communities, in those black communities, they dressed this way, they had those tattoos, they had these clothes. Because where they came from, they didn't have anything. So they overcompensated by buying big chains and tattoos to make themselves feel better about the situation that they were in. That's context behind something, meaning. Why you got on Riff Raff? To fit in? It's a costume, B. Just putting something on to look cool. You know, and I see other people doing it on the streets, but when you're getting a big buzz like this, I'm going to call you out. And it'd be different. And how I know, matter of fact, how I know it's a costume, because you can't rap. It's not like you're a good lyricist, that you're talking about something. You can't rap. So you take this guy who's trying to dress what is known as predominantly a black culture, and he can't rap. And you think, well, how is this dude getting so much buzz? He's a character, man. It's a costume. That's not what real hip-hop is about. You know, hip-hop has context, whether it's talking about love like LL Cool J, or putting that religion like Kanye West did where Jesus walks. Everything has meaning. Everything has context. Something is real. Something that you can relate to or at least understand. Now, I never grew up in a neighborhood with police brutality. But because that song had context, I could understand what they were coming from. You know, I'm in the church and I love hip-hop, so I could relate to what Jesus walks, what Kanye was talking to. That's beauty. That's the voice. You know, Nas once said, your words are more powerful than a sword. So let your weapon of choice be your voice. That's power, man. That's truth. The voice in hip-hop is real. And I fear that rappers like Riff Raff keep building up and hip-hop's voice will be lost within the crowds, within the clubs. I don't want that to happen. But maybe y'all can't take my word for it. Maybe y'all think you know, he's a good dude, and maybe he is. I don't know him. He said he looks up to Vanilla Ice. Is that because he's a fraud too? We found out Vanilla Ice was Riff Raff. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to let y'all listen to him. And I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to listen to some other music, some real stuff, some Nas. But I'm going to play you some Riff Raff. I'm going to make y'all decide if this is what you want to listen to. I am Silk, your host, to Step Into My World. Next show, we're going to be talking about my top rappers of all time. Not only that, the show after that, we're going to be getting into the best female rappers, innovators who changed the game. But you can also catch me on my talk show on cable television, Comcast. You can catch me on WGBS 7. If you can't catch us on my YouTube channel, definitely check out my other shows. We have a lot of positive and motivational speakers that come in and speak. That's Comcast, Channel 95, and that's Verizon Channel 36 for the road to success. And WGBS 7, my show Hope 101. You can find me on local cable 7, charter cable 27. But I'm Silk, man. I love what I'm doing. Y'all keep believing. Never stop believing. Keep dreaming. And stay true to yourself. All right. Check this dude out, man. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.